Hi guys, I'm Alana and I'm going to be walking you through how to create an online brand identity guidelines with Bravemark. So if you're a brand designer, this is a great platform for really saving you time when you create your brand identity guidelines. Instead of creating a PDF, Bravemark brand guidelines are going to be great to create a really adaptable online experience for your clients. It's automating the process for you, and it's going to mean that they've got something they can access from online, from anywhere they are, so they can always have their assets whenever they need them. So today we're going to be making brand guidelines like these ones here for Checkcoin. So this is a concept project that the team have put together. We're going to be making something a little bit like this, and I'll explain to you as we go what all of the modules do and how to do it. I'll walk us through and stop and show you around as we go, but you'll start to see how quickly these can really be made. So to start off with, you're going to go to your dashboard where you can see your projects. And you're going to create project like this. So this gives you the option. So we're going to put together the name of the brand is Checkcoin. It remembers it from before. So you've got three options here. You can start with a wizard, a starter template, or a blank canvas. So we're going to use the wizard today, which basically creates them in a flash. You just upload your files and it comes with a basic brand identity guidelines, and we can tweak it as we wish to add some areas and style it the way we want it to be presented. You can also do the starter template, which creates a basic layout for you to add things to, or the blank canvas lets you start from scratch and drag and drop modules as you like. So it's asked for the logo, so we're going to upload our logo. Next it's going to ask for our brand colours. So starting off we have our hex codes, and what's really nice about this is all you do is you plug in your hex codes and it creates your RGB values for you. So that saves you loads of time, when you make a PDF, and it always involves a lot of copying and pasting and it takes forever. So this is a real time saver. So for our primary typeface, we are going to use a custom font. So it allows you to drop your fonts here. We are going to use a custom typeface, which is the same one, Chakrapetch Semibold. This is actually a Google font, but just to show you how it works, I've downloaded the TTF file. You could also use an OTF file. So if you've created a custom font for a brand, you can upload it here like this. And then for the secondary typeface, we will use Manrope, which is a Google font. We are also connected to the entire Google Fonts library. So if you are using a Google font for your client, you can just select it from this list. Here we can choose the layout style. So we'll start off in default, and then I will show you the options once we're in the editor. So here we are. This is the wizard that the platform has created. So as you can see, we've already got the logos in there. We've got the color swatches, the typography, so that's all there straight away. Before we go any further, I'll give you a little tour of the interface so you can see where everything is, and then we'll get editing. So we have the module library up here. So down on the right hand side, you've got a list of all the modules you could add. So this is simply a drag and drop. So you can drag the module you wish to place and it will appear in the viewer, and then you can edit it as you wish. Now I don't really need an image there, so I'm going to delete that for now. And then up here we've got arrows, so you can move modules up and down like this, and if you Alt or Option click this, it moves it all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom. You can see that's moved all the way. So that's some nice little navigation, or you can drag down like this to move your modules around. So that's really nice and easy to use. And then we have the viewer here to change the width of the screen. So you've got the mobile view. So this shows you how it's going to show up on mobile, or you can drag these out, these little sliders, just so you can see how the format changes. It's all completely responsive, and all of the brand guidelines will adjust to whatever screen your client or you are viewing it on. And then on the left hand side, we've got a keyboard shortcut window over here. So you can see all these keyboard shortcuts which are going to work within the interface. And we have this little help section. So if you get stuck, it's all pretty self-explanatory, but this just shows you where you can find things if you forget. Also, it's just worth mentioning, We are constantly releasing updates, new launches. So I'm showing you all the features that we have now. It's a great time to be joining, and we've got some really exciting things planned. So as time goes on, there will be more available for you to use. Now, this is the fun part. We get to customize it so it is exactly as we wish it to be. So starting off, we're going to go over to the settings, project settings over here, and we can make some adjustments. So here's where you upload your cover image, which is how the project is displayed in the Discover page or in your personal dashboard. The correct dimensions are 654 by 508 pixels. You can either click here to upload, or if you've got your files ready, you can simply drag and drop into the file receiver there. If your client has a website, you can type it in here. We don't have a website for Checkcoin as it's not a real brand, but we'll pretend we do. So that's how it will go, but it won't work. Here we have the header logo. So this is referring to this little logo in the header up here. This is the full logo, but I think actually it might be nice to have the sub logo variation. So I'm going to delete this, upload image. And now it's just updated here in the corner. Now, a lot of you might not be quite ready to say goodbye to PDFs, and of course, if you've got a really long strategy document, it might be good to upload that here. So this is a pro feature, so you won't be able to upload this in the free version of the platform. If you would like your client to still have a PDF version of their brand guidelines, you can upload it here and they'll be able to download it from wherever they are. So the theme, so this is how the page is displaying. Section title font, I've got Chakrapetch. The master header title, Chakrapetch, so I'm happy with that. I like how that's looking. And then we've got, see the title fonts down here, and then the body type, I've got man rope and regular, and I'm going to go with man rope here as well. So we've already uploaded Chakrapetch semi-bold as the custom font, so if you had any more font files that you wanted to upload, you could drop them here. Now I'm going to make the grid style here. So currently we've got the default, which is like a full bleed display. We can also use bento, which looks like this. I really like this variation. Or you can use borderless. I will make it bento for now. And then we can choose our bento colour. I'm going to go with white as the background colour. And then finally, at the end, we've got Bravemark branding down here. If you have the Pro Plus subscription, you might wish to remove the Bravemark branding, and you can also then upload your own branding or your client's branding to the footer. So we have customized our overall project settings, so we're going to save that and continue branding. It's good to just intermittently save, as with everything. I'm sure we've all lost a file or two in the past. Okay, so let's first of all start with this intro module, which we have here. So this is the generic introductory text, but I've got my own for Checkcoin, so I'm going to paste that in here. You can edit this to be as long as you like. And I think that this background looks a little bit boring, so I'm going to add in a background image. You can also add a background color if you wanted, so you have an entire selector, or you could choose one of your brand colors. But for this section, I'm going to actually introduce my brand pattern. Now, a really nice little feature if you want to add a little bit more of a dynamic movement to your brand page is you can actually choose to repeat the background, especially if you've got a repeating pattern. And I'm going to select retina, which reduces the size of it. And now I'm going to select fixed. So that means that as I scroll, it creates a parallax effect, which just adds a really nice little subtle animation. I can also change the size of the logo. So as this is the intro, I'm going to make this logo a little bit bigger. Make the logo bigger, we all know that one. Not too big though. And I think that it's not necessary to, in this case, have the title of Checkcoin brand page as it's already saying it in the logo. So I'm going to delete this module title. Of course, different brands have different logos, so you might decide that you do want to keep the title, but for this case, I don't think it's necessary. We can also affect the size of the text, so we can have large, which is what we have currently, extra large, or extra large if you want it to be really big and bold. I'm going to stick with large for now. You can change the text color as well, so perhaps we'll make it branding grey. You can also select which alignment you prefer for your intro. So I've got the central alignment, and you can easily change it like this. You might want your logo to be on the left with the left aligned text, or on the right like this. I'm going to stick with the central alignment for now. So moving down onto the logo module. If you select the module, you can see the blue dotted line, which is how you know that you've got it all selected. You can adjust the size of the logo for each module like this. Go with 140 again. And you can change the height of the module itself. So you can select full height, which will mean that the module is always going to be the height of the screen that you're viewing it on. Or you can deselect this and customize it. So I could make this 60. If you have two modules next to each other, like in this case, they will always display as the height of the taller module. But if you then reduce that down to mobile view so that it becomes one column, then they will display at different heights unless they're set to the same height. So I'm going to make these 40 each. Now I'm actually going to upload a different logo. We like to have responsive logos. To do that, I'm going to go to the module library. I'm actually going to put a stack because I would like to upload two versions of the logo mark. So I select this module, which is stack. So a stack just means that you can have more than one module combined together. And then you can choose, I'm going to put a logo module here, text module here. I'm also going to change the colour of this background to be orange. And I'm going to change this to be a turquoise. Obviously this colorway doesn't actually work with this background colour, so we're going to change this logo to a different version which is better suited. So there we go, I'm happy with how that's looking, and I'm going to change this one to the white variation of the logo. You can also just drag another file over the top and it will replace it. Now, up here at the top of the module, we have a title. So you can delete the title if you don't want it, or you can edit it to say whatever you choose. If we return back down here, we're going to upload the logo mark. So I'll just show you how you can drag it instead. And I think that's looking quite small, so I'm just going to drag this sizing scale up to, let's make it 200%. This isn't the only version of the logo mark, so let's add another logo module to this stack, just like so. And then we are going to upload another version of the logo mark. And again, make it bigger. In this layout, this text would look better if it was left aligned. Here we are, it's just got some filler text here, but I am going to replace that. Instead of using this as a text module, which is quite spacious, I can actually decide to use this as a comment instead. What I will do is I'll upload it to this module. If I scroll down, I have the option to add a comment here. So if I paste this here, it comes up with a little page like this so your client knows there's a comment, and this will display like this at smaller scales. Use the logo mark version instead. I will also paste it onto this one. And instead of having this text module, let's delete that, I will add another logo and I will put the black version of the logo mark. Now let's change these backgrounds. This is looking quite good. However, as you can see, we've got a darker background here and the logo name is not really showing up. So we're going to change the theme of this module. So up here we have a little sunshine and we can switch that to night and day. So this is making the text and the comment icon look bright against the dark background, so the contrast is easier to read. I will just speed up the video where I'm repeating. So now what we have is our logo suite, which is all looking great, but we want to make it super useful for our clients. So we are going to upload our downloadable assets for our clients to be able to access. For our full logo here, as you can see in the module editor, you have a space to put your downloadable assets. This is a pro feature, so you won't be able to do it on the free version. This means that you can publish your brand page for them to then download their brand assets. You can use a range of files. You can have JPEG, PNG, SVG, TIFF, PDF, and GIFs. This is the full colour, so we're going to go to the logos and open them just like this. I'm going to scroll down and do the same for all of the other variations. Okay, so now that that's all done, you can see that a little download icon appears here, and this will allow your clients to view their menu of downloadable assets and choose the one they want. So if a freelancer or someone in the business has asked them for the white version of the logo in an SVG, all they need to do is go to that icon, click the right file name and send it across. So it makes it really easy and useful for them. Okay, scrolling down, let's move on to colours. So you can see here are the colours where I uploaded the hex codes, and it has automatically converted these to the RGB colour values. If I select a swatch like so, you can also add in your CMYK and you can edit these accordingly. If you have a Pantone value, you can add that as well. And finally, you can put here the proportion of the palette. So if you want one colour to be used more heavily in the brand, you can adjust the percentage here. So I'm going to keep this one on 50%. I'm going to delete the CMYKs and the Pantone for now. And I'm going to adjust the proportions of these other colours to start with. So I'm going to go with 20, these two. And I'll go with 10 for the dark grey. Now we can also change the names of these swatches to make it a little bit more customized for the brand. So instead of colour 1, I will adjust this to be pearl white. And for the others as well. Now a really nice feature about the colour swatches is it's super easy for your clients to copy the values. They just press this and it gets copied to clipboard. Now as I would like the pearl white to be the largest proportion of the colours, I'm going to drag it down to the bottom here. So it's going to swap over and we can see the largest swatch for pearl white. This is of course completely responsive, so if this was shown in a mobile view they would all be the same size, or dragging out like this you can see how they separate. So we can customize the colour swatch module a little bit. You actually have a really nice feature here called drop shadow, which just adds a little bit of depth to the view. And we can change the background colour if we want to, which I am not going to do, but it's there should you wish. The border style to dashed solid or none for the outline of the swatches. So if we have a solid one, and you'll be able to see if we change the theme like so, you can introduce a border. Let's go with no borders for now. And like with the other modules, you have the option to customize the title. I'm going to delete the title here. Now let's move on to typography. So we've got our two typefaces here, and there are quite a few different ways to display these. So I'm going to change, to start with, the background colour of this module. Make it the branding orange. And I'm going to change the text colour to the pearl white. And I'm going to change the name to logo typeface. Add a little comment to say use it for headers. And I think I will also change the theme to be light so it matches the text. Now, at the moment, as you can see, we are displaying the view as default, but a really fun thing you can do is change it to drop cap like so, and it has the AA really large, which is a really nice way of stylistically displaying it. From here, you can change the font name. So at the moment, it's got the default, which is Chakrapet semi-bold. I'm going to change this to header. You can choose to keep or delete the font accreditation. I'm going to keep it. And then the next fun little edit we can do is, at the moment we have the entire alphabet displayed, but we can actually choose to do it by letter, or we can upload the wording. So the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, we've all heard, but you can change this to whichever sentence you would like. Now, at the moment, this is wrapped by word, which would make sense because it's a sentence, but you also have the option to wrap by character. I'm going to keep it by word, and I'm going to make it the letters format like so. You can also change the alignment. I'm going to keep it on the left. I'm going to go through and do the same edits to the other typeface. So now we've finished editing the typography module. So the custom typeface, which is the Chakrapet semi-bold, will be available to download with all of the other assets. This one, however, is a Google font, and you might want to link to it so that the client can really easily access the Google Fonts page if they want to download the font file again. So the way you can do that is you can either upload the font file in the downloadable fonts at the beginning, or we can add a text module underneath, and we can place a URL to the font file. And I'm going to add a URL just in here, and you can paste in here the Google URL to download the font. So I'm just going to paste it in here like so. And let's save. So we've finished editing the modules that were automatically uploaded in the wizard, but now we're going to really customize this brand page. You might have some brand illustrations or other types of custom assets. To start with, I'm going to add a new section, so with a section title, and I'm going to call this brand pattern. I'm then going to introduce a new stack, and I'm going to upload 2 images to this stack. Let's start with one first. Now, this is display option number 1. I'll show you 2 different ways of displaying this. This one lets you put your image inside the module, and you can have the title as with everything else. So I'm going to call this one gradient. You can also change the background color of the module should you wish, like with the other modules. And then the second way of doing it is if I add an image in here, drop it in. Instead of uploading my image to the image section, I'm actually going to introduce a background image, and I'm going to upload my pattern here. And this way it creates a full bleed image, so if you don't want the border, it's quite a nice way of displaying it like so. And we have the same option to do the parallax scroll like we did before. So I'm going to make it repeat. I'm going to reduce the size and make it fixed. So as you can see, it's now parallax scroll. I really like this view, so I'm going to change the gradient to look like this as well. So add in my background image. And then I'll be able to delete the original image. Now I'm going to increase the vertical space to 40, maybe 50. So there we go. At the moment you can still see the drop image icon, but on the published brand page this will be invisible. Now I'm going to add in a text module just explaining how to use the brand patterns, and this is a little bit more text here, so I'm going to do it as a text module rather than as a comment. And I'll make it large. Now I think I would like this text to be underneath the stack. So the way I do that is I'm going to move the whole stack up in one go. So if I select one of the images, I can select the entire stack in the right hand column, and I'm just able to drag them up together like so. Okay, so next up, it's nice to show the brand in action. Most brand guidelines will include some form of mock-up to show the brand as it would be in the real world. So we're going to introduce some images that display that. Title it examples, and I'm going to create another stack with, once again, 2 images. And I'm also going to do them as full bleed. I will speed up this process as you've already seen me do this with the brand patterns. Now in this example, I'm going to leave them fixed. The client might see this mockup and want to be able to download that template. So to this image, I'm going to add some downloadable assets that will include the template for this document header. And same again for the splash screen or any UI documents you might have. I'm going to add them here. Once again, just a reminder, this is a pro feature, so you will need to upgrade to the pro version to use the downloadable assets feature. The pro version is $10 a month, so that includes up to 10 projects. So for each client, it works out as $1 a month. So it's a really affordable price. Okay, so the next stage of the examples is to include some social media assets in your brand package, and many clients will be asking for this and they'll want to see how this might display. It takes a while to create social media mockups, doesn't it? Not anymore. You can just drag and drop this module and it will come up with pre-made social media widgets, so all of the hard work is done for you. Now, these are square, but as you might know, Instagram have just updated their default format to be portrait. Not to worry, we can just select the drop down here and it comes up with the portrait version. We can also select story or landscape if we want to include those. So here's our social media module. First of all, we're going to upload the profile image. And that automatically updates the profile image in all of the logos. And then I'm going to simply drop my posts into the viewfinders. We can also edit the caption on the post. So here we go, here are our social media posts, and we can take it one step further. The client might want to edit these. Obviously, social media is always changing and we don't want just static posts. So in the downloadable assets, we can upload our template files for them to edit as they wish. I've got an Illustrator file, which is my social media templates, but you might have a sketch file or another type of file. As long as it's under 20 megabytes, you can upload it here for your client to use. Now, I think these brand guidelines are looking pretty good. We are nearly there. So as you can see in the header at the top here, there is a burger menu where you can skip to any area in the document quickly, and your clients will be able to do this too on the published brand page, as well as download their PDF guidelines. When we publish, there will also be an option to download all, which I will show you after we publish, and they'll be able to download all of the assets in one zip file, which is really useful. If we head to one of the section headers, like examples, we can also have the option to remove this from the menu if you don't want it. So now, if we go up to the top, you won't be able to see examples in the menu. In this instance, I'm going to keep it there, but there is that option there if you are wanting to have subfolders that aren't all displaying in the main menu. See it appear and disappear, just like that. Okay, so the brand identity page is looking pretty finished apart from one final stage. I know many brand designers, including myself, like to film a final brand walkthrough video when they hand off to their client. This just makes it really clear to the client so they understand how to use everything. So if you film a video like this for your client, you might use Loom, you might use Vimeo, or upload it to YouTube, and you get a URL. You can then really easily drop this URL into the brand guidelines so that they can always access it from the Bravemark page. We're going to select the video module here, and then it will give us the option to drop the URL, and this will appear in the module. We have the option to hide the controls and to start automatically. In this case, I do not want it to auto start, and I do want the controls, but the option is there. You can also alter the max width of the video, 50%, for example. I might make it 80, and you can also upload a background image. Right, so there are our brand identity guidelines with Bravemark. They are all finished. There is just one more step, which is to publish them. We're going to go to the save. Instead of saving, we're going to select the option to publish the brand page. If you are a pro member, you will have the option to publish either publicly or privately, whereas if you're on the free version, it will automatically only show the portfolio option, which means it will be available in the Discover page. You're able to share your work, see others' work for inspiration, and they can see yours. So this is a really great way to get your work out for potential clients or other designers to see. For now, I'm going to make it public and select next. You can change the URL to what you like. So I'm going to make it Checkcoin brand. And this will come up with a personalized URL, which will have your name and the brand name. Finally, I'm going to publish it to my portfolio. This now gives me a URL, which I can copy and share with whoever I like to access the brand page. Now let's see the finished product. So this is the brand page that we've made. We can see the menu. We can download all of the brand assets in one zip file or the PDF guidelines, and we can go to each of the sections that we have just made together. And as you can see, if I change the size of my window, it is all completely responsive. It all collapses down as the window changes. So that is how you make responsive online brand identity guidelines with Bravemark. I've been going through in a very in-depth way, but it really can take a matter of minutes to make these brand guidelines. Saves you so much time and it makes a really nice end product for your clients or for your portfolio. Comment any questions you might have, and if there are any new features that you would love to see on Bravemark, let us know. We're always listening to feedback and we are going to be releasing some really exciting new features.